All right, no more cold opens. Keaton, do something cool. Welcome to Word of the Day Toilet Paper, the show where we just talk about things. And whether those things remain one thing that we talk about for a long time or a long time of things that we talk about for 1 second, we do try to talk. And today's thing that we're trying to talk about is drywall. The dictionary definition of drywall is a type of board made from plaster, wood pulp, or other material, especially used to form the interior walls of houses. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and all of you in between, this is Word of the Day Toilet Paper. Ooh. Gotta love that. Welcome to Word of the Day Toilet Paper. I'm one half of your hosts, Asa, and
I'm the bottom half of the host. I'm Keaton.
and the other host of ours, the piano, basically has a good assistance in the show, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely a core value of the show. For sure. Couldn't do the show without it.
We probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for something. We went back. We did a podcast for, it wasn't just us, it was with a couple of other classmates, but we did a podcast. It was just us. I guess it was mostly just us.
Yeah, they sat in the back of the
room.
They
did. There was one other classmate, and then the other ones were there as an audience, like a live studio audience. Yeah. But we did a podcast a while ago for a project, for a class called World of Music. Ooh. And it was quite fun, and we did half of the tropes that we still keep in the show today.
Yeah, it's really funny because the very first thing you said is, Keaton, do something cool.
It was.
And then just played something. Then you were like, welcome to the podcast.
And that's what it is. And then we decided to make an entire bit out of it. We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did like all of the tropes that people probably turned down the volume of the podcast
because it was
every time it happened.
Shooting because I set my phone on the piano and went to record, and there was just the shooting blaring high note up at the top that was hit, and it was just like, ooh, sorry headphone users. my greatest apologies. But
no
it's
apologies.
Just, we thought we were all clever and creative when we started doing this now, and as it turns out, we ourselves made the same joke a year ago, and now we're taking credit for it.
Taking credit from ourselves. What are we, Michael Jackson?
Looking at the man in the mirror. What have I become? But hey. Anyway, as you have heard, today's word of the day is drywall. You said you had a story about this.
Yes. So we had this dog, a French bulldog, named... His full name was Sir Romeo Bigglesworth. But we just call him Mr. Biggles for short.
Okay, I didn't know how that was going to be shortened because it was either like to Rome or Mr. Rome but Mr. Biggles is good.
But one day Mr. Biggles decided to eat our drywall.
Was it like in the wall already, or was it just?
It was like he started licking the wall, made it damp enough to eat it, and ate a probably basketball-sized hole in the wall. Like, you could see the innards of the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He ate it vertically off the wall.
Yeah.
How do you pull that off as a French bulldog?
Well, his teeth were he could eat both sides of the ear coin at once.
Okay. I guess that's
his
fair.
teeth were pretty crooked.
That's wickedly impressive.
Yeah, well, I think he just made it damp enough that, he just kept licking it over the course of the day. And then eventually just one big old chomp caused...
Was there any paint on the wall, or was it just, raw drywall?
There was definitely paint.
Wow.
White
he just
paint,
licked it all the way off. That's dedication.
Yeah, hey, he lived till he was, 14.
Maybe it was the drywall. It could have been that one incident where he was like, I need to taste it again. I must keep living until I do.
Another instance of that beautiful dog is... He's actually, for those of you who don't know, I'm a composer, and a lot of my album covers on Spotify use Mr. Biggles.
Oh, I love that.
The Christmas album that I'll be releasing this Christmas has him in a little sweater sitting on the chair.
Oh, I love that so much. Putting dogs in sweaters is cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. But anyway, Christmas, whenever I was 12. He went through, and so in my brother's room, my brother had a giant bag full of, like, the most expensive chocolate. I don't remember the name of it. You know the kind that's in, like, triangles that you split apart?
Toblerone?
Yes.
Toblerone.
Well, anyway, he had, like, 5 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, and the dog went in there and ate them all.
Oh my gosh, no, Mr. Biggles.
But somehow ate them, like, out of the wrapper. Like, took them out of the wrapper and ate them.
He got fed. I know he got fed the chocolate.
But the thing is my brother went in and blamed me for doing it because everything was unwrapped.
Who could blame him?
The only reason... So I got in super big trouble over it. Because, I went and ate all my brother's Toblerone.
Yeah, obviously.
But,
how do you eat 5 bars of Toblerone as a human being? Well, first consider that.
3 days later, the blame was taken off from me whenever the dog went to use the bathroom and pooped out an entire wrapper. Like an entire encased in a wrapper piece of chocolate.
Oh my gosh. That's even more impressive. He was sculpting it as it came out.
No, it was not digested. It just like went through. And I think we should turn this down. It seems like we're peaking a lot.
We might be peaking a lot. We could
I'm sure the piano is.
It might. Well, the piano's definitely loud, but we've listened to it before and it's not terrible.
Okay, we won't worry about it.
Well,
but anyway,
if we do need to worry about it, leave a comment in the comment section.
My dogs have a history of... It's funny, because all of the dogs that we've gotten, like, through the Humane Society and stuff have a history of, like, living forever despite the chances.
Yeah.
Like, we had another dog that had super awful heartworms.
Really?
But yeah, that was the surprising part.
That is
no, he had
already the surprising part.
Super awful heartworms, and my dad gave him cattle dewormer because my dad owns a cattle farm, which is, we looked it up after, it's supposed to kill the dog instantly, but he thought would help. The dog lived till he was 17.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Cattle dewormer did something for it. During COVID, people went in and tried to use like cattle dewormer and stuff to get rid of COVID, and they died.
Wow.
Yeah,
not brilliant.
Yeah,
not a brilliant decision.
I don't know. Somebody started on TikTok. I don't know what happened.
It's like, I've got it. I've got the cure.
I work in a farm store, and we had to put them behind cases because people were stealing them and eating them and dying.
What the heck is wrong with people?
I don't know. I simply do not know.
That can't be a tasty way to go either. Cattle dewormer can't be something that's...
I feel like Tide Pods at least has a flavor.
At least it does. It smells good or something.
But the newest dog we have, my sister has a service dog. And if you feed that dog beef or like anything that's not as dry dog food, it pukes all night.
Really?
Yeah, like we fed it peanut butter one time, puked all night.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, fed it beef one time because once again we're a cattle family.
That makes sense.
Puked all night.
That's so brutal.
Yep.
Can't have the finer things in life.
All he has is dry dog food.
Oh no, he's been conditioned. Yeah, that's the service animal life. Can't enjoy it.
My sister watches service animal TV shows, and there's this one dog that went through like 8 years of training. Then on the last day, pooped on the sidewalk and literally lost all of it. He couldn't go back into it. Yeah.
No, dude, that's so
It was just
horrible.
put up for adoption.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Poor that's my spiel for the last 6 minutes, I guess. What's yours?
I never had a dog.
Really?
I've never had a dog.
Really?
I have only ever had cats.
Uh-huh.
And, a couple of eclectic pets here and there. My sister was big into fish, so she's always had a fish her whole life. I had a guinea pig once. His name was Gizmo. He was cute, but he was very loud. But he still was cute. I have a soft spot for guinea pigs. But I never had a dog. My family always wanted a dog. Like, all of our friends had dogs. Everyone around us had a dog.
Like, every member of your family wanted one? Or, like, was there one member that didn't want one?
The one member that didn't want one was my dad.
Yeah, that's generally the standard.
That is generally the standard. Looking back on it, I understand. Because the reason he didn't want a dog was because we were too busy. Yeah. Like, this dog would have had nowhere to go.
That's why I don't have a dog. Like, my family has a dog, but I don't have a personal dog myself. I have a cat because...
way lower maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat just kind of does what it wants, destroys my stuff while I'm gone.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
No, we...
just buy new stuff every day.
Exactly. It's worth having a cat. Because they are The feeling of a cat just like falling asleep on your chest is nothing comparable to nothing in this world.
Yeah.
And my family has always had cats. We had one cat.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Princess. Well, I guess we had two, but the story is about this one cat.
Yeah.
We had a cat before named Mickey, but then there was a new cat that came along when we were building the house that we live in now, which was almost related to Drywall. I did have kind of a story about that, but it was kind of just going to be like my dad gave hammers to a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old and told them to go break down a house, and we did. And that was my story, abridged. But about Princess. She came out of the woods one day whenever we were building the house.
Pre or post owning the cat?
Pre,
okay.
This cat was already owned by somebody down like the street. And but our street was weird. We have a driveway that's 1,000 feet long. We live on 30-something acres.
Are animals considered property? I know like cattle are, but are like dogs and cats considered property?
Technically, yes, because if you like, it can count as like theft if you take it and hold it against the owner's will or something like that.
I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. Like some sort of moral dilemma. I don't know.
Because, well, here's the thing. We went, the cat came, my youngest older sister took, like saw the cat, went up to her, she ran away. She came back the next day and then just kept doing that, coming back but getting closer. So we started feeding her and whatever. Cat didn't have a collar or anything. So she just got closer. We all went, pet her, loved her. She will go away into the woods and come back the next day. We found out that it was a cat down the street, and they were just like, you know what? If she's running away, you can just go ahead and take care of her. And we were like, okay, well, we'll take care of her. And that cat gifted us with many, many, many kittens.
Oh boy,
many kittens. And because, well, she was an outside cat.
Yeah.
Because our inside cat did not like this outside cat, and the same way around. They were mortal enemies most of the time. But this cat gave us many kittens over the years, probably close to 40.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and
you didn't fix it?
Well, we did eventually, but
I think after like 39 kittens,
it was the limit. We just couldn't do it anymore. But I guess it was kind of an indirect sort of, because she had kids, and then those kids had kids, and that was kind of where that came along. But
wait, so these 40 kittens were just...
Well, we didn't keep them all.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't keep them all. We gave most of them away. We were like, hey, here's kittens. I was in a soccer league, so we'd go, whenever I was playing soccer, my parents would have the kittens, and they'd be giving them away. If somebody wanted a kitten, they'd have food and whatever with them. And they'd just give them away. And eventually we narrowed it down to 4. We had 4 cats at one time. They were all outdoor cats. One of them was the devil incarnate. One of them was a dog, and the other one was nonverbal. So,
are dog cats nonverbal?
Well, kind of, like exclusively, especially nonverbal. Even for a cat, she couldn't meow. She was mute.
Oh.
And she had no control over her legs or anything like that. There was a time where she was, as a kitten, she ran up the stairs. Her back half ran up the stairs before her. She turned around and started running down the stairs. I'd never seen it. We wanted to name her Skittles, but we ended up going with Sadie. Yeah. She was adorable. She was a giant cat, just a fat chunker. But she couldn't meow, but she could purr. But it took a lot to make her purr, and so it was just like adorable. But yeah, I've only ever had cats. They all got kind of picked off, and it's really sad because they were outdoor cats.
Outside cats, it happens like that. So the cat that I have now, my mom got it to kill the moles outside, but my girlfriend wouldn't let me get rid of it, or wouldn't let me get rid of it. Wouldn't let me put it outside to kill the moles.
Get rid of it.
I said, okay, you know what? You're going to college. I'll keep it for a little bit, and it'll just live in my room, basically, and destroy all my nice things.
Yep, as one does.
Yeah, and whenever you go off to college, you can take it with you. Well, anyway, she went to college. Her roommate's allergic. I was like, well, I'm not doing that now.
Yeah.
But, yep. So that's how I got my cat.
That's fair. How long ago did you get the cat?
Halfway through the first semester here.
Oh, really? So it's very recent.
Yep.
Wow. So your mole problem is developed recently, or is the solution of a cat?
That's not my problem.
I guess it's fair. It's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, we never had cats for any purpose like that. They would just like bring us animals.
Yeah.
And just set them on the sidewalk, and it was like, here you go, parents.
Yeah.
Or big cats that look like human things.
Yeah, I've heard the cats see other people as cats.
That was the big story of us, and it was just like, they always take care of you. One of the reasons one of the reasons cats purr is because when they're a mother, they like purring calms down kittens. So that's why sometimes when you like when you're like stressed or whatever, or there are all those studies that are like cats purring can calm you down and generate dopamine and what's the other one, serotonin, and it's like because that's what they're built to do. They come up and they're like, you're stressed.
I love that about cats.
I do. They're so friends.
Sometimes cats get on my nerves, mostly just mine, because every single day he'll go and he'll spill the water bowl. So I have to refill the water bowl in the morning and at night, and it's slowly warping my floors. I'm going to have to get a new one that he can't spill.
Yeah, just like one of those non-spill, or just a big towel. You just switch out the towel every day, every time it spills it.
But there was one day at the end of a competition that I got home. It was 11:30. I went downstairs. Food was dumped in the water bowl and then dumped out of the water bowl, laying on the ground with a pile of ants in there. And this is like basically my living room because I live in the basement. So it's like got a TV and like a couch and everything. I just went in there. It was just this anthill basically made out of wet cat food.
No, that's so
And I was just
horrible.
like, I'm going to bed.
I'm dealing with this in the morning. The ants can eat it away to their heart's content. Not touching that. That's horrible.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That was the same case with us, but it wasn't ever inside because our cats never brought anything inside, which I'm very happy for. But it was a new thing every day. The biggest thing they ever brought back was a groundhog.
Oh boy.
They brought that, when I tell you, we had a cat named Corduroy. Corduroy was a dog. This dude was huge.
Yeah.
Biggest cat I've ever owned in my life. He would kill gray squirrels for fun. Gray squirrels are the size of cats.
You know, household cats are like the leading cause in like several, like whenever I say several, like hundreds of species extinction.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like
They're just destined to kill.
Yeah.
It's kind of badass.
It is a little bit.
That is really cool, but hundreds of species.
Yeah.
Who's doing the study on this? Or it's like...
I don't know. I'll have to look it up again, but we don't have service in here.
We don't. This room is trapped. There was an extravaganza in the attempt to look up the definition of drywall.
This is the third take that we've had to do, because each time I start playing and then he looks it up and it's like, well, in just a minute I'll tell you the definition.
And then it gives me that good old cloud with a slash through it that says try again, and I'm like... Ugh. So I walked outside.
Do you want to do the sponsorship at 20 minutes?
20 minutes is a good time to do it.
Continue your story.
All right. It's like 2/3 of the way. It'll mark the, you've almost made it to the end of the episode part, where you have a break about us talking about how awesome cats are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Have you had dogs your whole life?
So this cat that I have is the first inside cat that we've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's just always been...
It's always been dogs. Right now, we have 1 dog inside and 3 dogs outside.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. What kind of dogs? Are they like big farm dogs? Or?
Yeah, big farm dogs, basically.
I love that. I love it so much.
We have one named Bobo and
Bobo!
one named Steve.
Yes!
We had one named Cletus, but he died.
Aw.
Well, we had to put him down because he was a serial killer.
Wow.
And went through and killed all the dogs on the road.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
There was a lot of angry phone calls that we got.
Oh, Cletus.
Yeah.
I guess rest in vengeance.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's pretty insane. We live very far away from any road. Like, our driveway is all uphill. We're in a hole. We're in a valley. And it was quite funny because sometimes our cats would follow us up the hill to the bus. One time, a cat got on the bus with us.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
I know.
Never seen a cat do that in my life, ever. Because it was just like, and all of the people that we told about it was like, I cannot believe a cat did that.
They just accepted that it was on there, right? And it went to school and went to math class and everything.
I put him in my bag and just took the day around with him and fed him some of my lunch.
I wish we could do that. I wish life was like that.
It would be so awesome if we could just have like our cat with us.
If it was like a Pokemon and you could just like, the follow commands.
Just like, come on. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever. No choice but to do it. But it's still enjoyable. Just camp out on the desk. There's got to be a school somewhere that does that.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if our school wouldn't let us do that.
That's true.
You can totally get a cat here.
There are cats like that live
well,
here,
I'm saying
but...
like all you have to do is basically go and claim depression in the to your doctor, and
ESA.
then you get and then you get a emotional support animal, and then which is probably what that stood for.
Emotional support animal. But I thought about it, but it's hard for me to consciously keep a cat in a dorm because there's nothing to do in a dorm, and it's like this. You get this much space for a cat.
You can get a little cat tree, and then you could kind of just let it outside in the hallway. Most people will play with it.
That's true. Hopefully, no one's tiny dog comes out of the dorm and messes with the cat.
Well, don't leave it outside unsupervised.
Yeah, no, just let it run down the halls and. Put a cat tree in the hall. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Just let everyone have a community cat.
Community cat.
Yeah.
I really wish we could be one of those campuses that had like a community cat that like had a little name tag.
Oh my god.
I've seen one that has like a little student ID.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And he'll just like run around with a little student ID.
That's so cute. And oh my gosh, who managed to get the student ID on a cat? Maybe it's just a part of a collar or something, but that's adorable.
Yeah, I think they just put it on a collar, but they like went through the school and got it a student ID.
That's sensational.
And it's got like an ID number, and it's like,
I love the stories of like communities like uniting around cats. Mm-hmm. There was one, I forgot what country it was in, but there was a town that there was a cat that would always sit in one spot, like always sit in one spot, and it would wait for attention, and people would feed it and everything. And one day the cat died, and they put a statue of the cat, like a bronze statue where the cat used to be. Somebody stole the statue.
No.
Somebody removed it from it was. Yeah. And the entire town united against this person to find the statue and return it to where it was. And it was successful, and the statue got back, great. And the person was like, okay, fine, I'm sorry.
Do you know what a Bodega cat is?
I do not know the details.
So, in New York, they call, I think it's like sandwich shop bodegas. But they'll just have cats that live in these sandwich shops or like in these like grocery stores or whatever. And that's just what a bodega cat is.
That's awesome.
So like you'll go into a restaurant and there'll just be a cat that lives in the restaurant.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen stories of them like blocking the door and stuff. Where it's like, please go. No, okay, fine, you're our cat now. 22 minutes.
Guess we should do it.
We could do it. Let's hit it. Have you ever really needed to just separate two parts of your house? I have exactly what you need. You might not expect it. I'm just kidding, you might exactly expect it. It's a wall. It's a wall. But it's no ordinary wall. It's a drywall. Not a wet wall or damp wall. It's a drywall. And you can use it anywhere for anything. Mostly for separating spaces, I think. But it's good. Today's episode is brought to you by about 4 walls. In this room, there are 4, I think. So we have this space, and we have that thanks to walls. Thank you. Be sure to thank your wall today. Gorgeous. Gorgeous segment. If only walls could talk, they'd be singing our praises right now.
If these walls could talk, they probably wouldn't have much to say.
They probably wouldn't.
Probably because there's these sound pads
there
in
is,
front of them and they can't see much.
If these walls could talk, they'd be...
Yeah, probably. For you audio listeners out there, which is all of the listeners because we don't bother to record video, all these walls have giant sound pads in front of them.
To prevent the echoing and cutting of the piano to classrooms that are directly above us.
Except for the drum set.
Except for the drum set, which pierces through every single day of our lives.
Not the organ, though, surprisingly.
I am astonished that the organ does not just, like, rumble the walls of this place.
I'm honestly really disappointed that it didn't.
It is, because it's like, there's a presence there. You want people to know you're playing this thing. So sad.
Well, what would you like to talk about? I think we had a good conversation going there with the cats.
We did have a good conversation about the cats. Cats and dogs and childhood pets and the stories of all that. What about, like, exotic pets?
I'm not
Thoughts?
into exotic pets.
I don't
I don't like the idea of going to sleep and there being a snake in my house that I let in. I
There
don't like the
was-
idea of there being one in general.
Yeah,
but-
there was a story about a girl who had a pet python, which A, bad idea.
Yeah.
B, it would always sleep next to her, like just
And it would size itself
It would
up.
size itself
Yeah.
up, and it stopped eating for a couple weeks. Like she was like, "You're not eating anything. Why are you not eating?" And she took it to the doctor, and they said, "Yo, dude, get this snake out of your house because it is going to eat you. It is prepping itself to swallow you whole in your sleep." And it's like, why would you have a python?
That is... Oh my god.
Horrifying.
I just can't imagine.
If she hadn't have noticed that and been like, just
Imagine-
didn't take it to a doctor, dead. She was dead.
Yeah.
And no one would have known.
I just can't believe that.
Yeah. Horrible. But it's like, I can't get behind exotic pets just because they're not domesticated. Like
Or like
most of-
giant spiders.
I had a friend in high school who had 2 spiders. 2
That's too many.
tarantulas.
Oh.
And he would hold them. He would hold them in his hand, and I was like, "You are insane." But the problem was, I'm simultaneously really afraid of spiders, and I feel really bad for them all the time. I can't kill them. Because if it's like,
I kill him.
if it's in my room,
I turned my finger off.
you turned it off in reverse.
Otherwise known as turn it off.
But I just can't. I can't really imagine having an exotic pet like that. But I could imagine. What I could imagine is there's people who live on like sanctuaries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's a channel that I watch that's just a bunch of big cats. Like they have a bunch of big cats sanctuary. There's tigers and lions and snow
Bears, oh
leopards
my.
and bears. Oh my. But and she just goes around and boops them on the nose and gives them chin scratches.
I've
and
seen that.
Like that would be a dream.
Have you seen those videos where it's like on an Australian train and they look over and there's just the spider the size of the tree climbing the tree? It's like a full monkey-sized spider.
Oh, please. I hate that so much. Huntsman spiders. They are the biggest spiders that I know of. And they're gigantic. The thing is, yeah, they're mostly in Australia. But all the stories I hear about it is like, if there's a huntsman spider in your room, just let it chill there. Because they hate people, they'll never engage, and they eat the crap out of everything else ever because they're huge and terrifying. But there's only 1 or 2 deaths ever recorded due to a huntsman spider. And one of them was because there was a guy driving down the freeway. A huntsman spider fell through the sunroof into his lap, and he drove off the highway.
Yeah.
And that's how he died. Like,
I've heard of this before. Maybe you've told me that.
I hope not.
You definitely haven't on the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
it's
definitely
okay.
on the podcast, so that's good. I know we've talked about sanctuaries on the podcast at least, because I remember bringing up Urban Rescue Ranch or something like that. But maybe not this
remember that.
extensively.
I
but-
don't remember that.
Maybe we didn't. I could just be completely wrong.
I don't know.
Fact check us in the comment section below.
The one person who watches the video
Yeah.
then proceeds to comment is, "You were wrong."
You were wrong. Dislike. Unsubscribed.
There goes our one subscriber. Have we
lost
edited
it.
any of these yet?
I don't think we have. But you know what? The day will come soon where we have a break.
Yeah.
Because we're doing a billion things right now. But not next week. Week after, we get a bunch of marching band off.
Yeah.
And so we can just take that second half of our Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and shoot on over to a computer and get this stuff edited. I can definitely do that.
Yeah, you might have to because I have to get an entire piece done in 2 weeks.
See, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I will do the taking care of that.
And then after that, I'll start helping you on the editing.
It's a very minimal amount of editing anyway, because like we're not going to need to do too many cuts. The only thing we're going to need to really do is like slam a sponsored segment in there more smoothly than we have in the past, and
Really, I think how we've done this episode right now is fine.
yeah, I think exactly, because it's always funny that like we're self-aware of the sponsored bit and we don't just cut off and it's like commercial break, cut back to what we were saying before.
Yeah.
But
I like the idea that someday we'll have actual sponsors.
right, and then we can do
the
that.
exact
We can
same
do it. Just do some stupid sponsored segment with Honey. I don't know if we're ever popular, if Honey will still be sponsoring people. But Honey Ridge, you know Honey?
Like
the online browser extension that saves you free money online. Sponsor us. Or Ridge Wallet or the Raycon earbuds.
It's just like
Raid Shadow Legends.
Is your wallet too thick?
Have you ever wanted it to be thinner? So that you can only fit one, maybe 2 cards in it. And a $20 bill. And a $20 bill. Well, I have exactly the wallet for you. Today's episode brought to you by the Ridge Wallet. I lied just now. That was lying. For legal reasons, I'm lying. Brought to the Ridge Wallet. Thank you, Ridge Wallet, for definitely sponsoring today's episode. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I like how we forced whoever listens to this to listen to not one but 2 sponsored segments that have no reason to even be in the episode.
We aren't sponsored by anybody.
Except Drywall.
Today's episode brought to you.
This is gonna flop.
Oh my gosh. Is it ever? But hey, you know what? We're having fun. Overall happiness in the world has gone up. Yeah. You know, that's what matters.
You know, I really do hope somebody can listen to these and just really enjoy their 35 minutes.
Yeah, 35 minutes.
And just be like, you know what? That was pointless.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It's like watching Seinfeld.
True. There's this show about nothing.
Yeah.
This is what that is.
It's a podcast about nothing.
Yeah. It's simultaneously a podcast about everything.
Yeah. And words. And
words.
Toilet paper.
True. What if we never, ever, in the history of the podcast, ever use the word of the day as toilet paper?
Well, yeah, why would we use the word of the day for... Like you're saying...
Why would we use the word of the day, toilet paper?
Yeah, like why would we...
I don't know. It'd be funny. It'd be a good story.
Toilet paper's too easy to get a story about.
True. Oh, that's true. Yeah, can't be doing any of these cop-out words.
Yeah, we gotta get obscure, not necessarily obscure words, but words that you wouldn't think of.
Have you ever looked up a list of archaic English words?
I have not.
Do it sometime. They're very interesting.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite words is my favorite word is an archaic word. It is out of use, and I don't know why, because in this day and age, it has more of a use than ever. Mm-hmm. Resistentialism.
Oh yeah.
Is the seemingly spiteful behavior of inanimate objects.
I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's the perfect word, because it's like your earbuds always being tied, or your phone turning off as soon as you flip it over, and just your car keys always being lost. Like it's
or the computer never working.
Exactly, the computer never ever working. It's such a perfect word, and I don't understand why it's archaic now. I think they probably got rid of it at exactly the wrong time, and the guy who signed off on it was like, ooh, I made a mistake, didn't I?
I like the idea that we all just get in like a council of words, the Council of Webster.
That might,
and then
that probably exists.
And then they sit down in a circle, and it's like, okay, what word do we want to get rid of today?
I think the word frindle is pointless.
Oh, I've hated that word since I've worked here.
Gavel crack. It's out.
They go through, they like raid everybody's homes at night and get the dictionary just like with a little bit of whiteout.
Honey, did you white out the word frindle in our dictionary?
Oh, honey, must have been lost in the mail. What does that even mean?
The words must have just fallen off the page. Meanwhile, there's like an operative outside that has like a walkie-talkie, and it's like, mission complete. We got him.
There's a guy in like a fake pizza van.
They're spying on it to make sure nobody knows the word frindle was ever in existence.
Okay, let's move on to the Clarksons.
Good afternoon, Kelly. No, that was the first Clarkson name I thought of.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's a good bit. I always think of bits like that where it's just like, if I had production value, I would so go and just do the stupidest.
Yeah, that'd be a good like Family Guy cutaway.
That would be a good cutaway.
I used to do animations.
Really?
Yeah, I can't draw. I used to do like stop motion animations.
W.
But That would definitely be like one of those short little videos where it's like the Council of Webster.
The Council of Webster is an awesome name for that. Oh my gosh. What a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is... That really makes me wonder. Because it's Webster's dictionary, right?
They do definitely have like company meetings where they decide what word belongs where. Like a group of scholars get together.
Yeah, and they have like surveys and stuff where it's like... There was a survey I learned of recently where it was the most annoying words of the year. Mm-hmm. And some of them were not words. Some of them were definitely phrases, which is very interesting.
I remember, like, dough, like, from The Simpsons. Like, dough! Was put in the dictionary.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But there's some that I don't agree with. Like, whenever they put acronyms in there, it's like, what's the point of that?
That was me.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going, but I didn't exactly open my mouth, so it just came out like a demonic shriek.
Like, what's the point of putting acronyms there? All those words separately are defined.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. That just seems like a term more so than a word definition.
Yeah, it's like putting like every slang term in the dictionary. Or do you think they've updated the definition of cap to like lying?
Well, but you see, I'm okay with slang terms.
It's
that's like
fair.
if we put, I don't know, well, like ASA, like whenever we like ESA, sorry, emotional support animal.
Personal targeting. That's crazy.
Yeah. Does that really belong?
I don't think it does. It's a term. It's not a word.
But then where do we put our collection of acronyms? Do we have a separate book apart from the thesaurus?
Yeah. Well, you can find terms in encyclopedias.
Yeah, I guess
that's usually
true.
the collection of term knowledge as opposed to word knowledge, because the word is specifically the dictionary.
Yeah.
And then thesaurus. I had a terrible thesaurus once.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was it terrible, it was terrible. I love that joke so much. It's so awful. It's so terrible.
Altercation, combat, swordplay, them's fighting words.
You step back. I know karate. I can't think of any more. I know karate, taekwondo, and many other dangerous words. I flubbed the bit. It was so close.
We'll edit that out in post.
Yeah, we can cut it or whatever.
That's definitely an interesting thought. I don't know. I don't want to open up a dictionary and it be so just...
Muddied?
Yeah, muddied. I think that's a good term.
See, now that's a word.
Well, yeah, muddied would make sense.
It'd be good in the dictionary, but if you'd said muddied up, that's encyclopedia material. Yeah. Can't have that in the dictionary.
Or muddied up there, and we just call it, I don't know, mutt. It's
mutt.
Like as an acronym.
Yeah.
That doesn't belong there.
No, it doesn't.
Or like CIA or something.
I think it's funny that I always think of things wrong. Like you said mutt. And I couldn't comprehend why the T was there because it's like a the sound in my brain. So I was like, M-U-T. Oh, yeah. I get it. But it always throws me off whenever it's like a PH or something and it's just P. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right.
Phosphorus doesn't exist. Phosphorus can't hurt you.
Phosphorus. But it's funny with a PH.
Yeah.
P-H-U-N-Y.
Funny.
All right. I'd say that's a good place.
Yeah.
That's a good place to cap it off.
I'd say we're good. How do we end these again? What's the format for ending these?
I think we usually just do like a similar sponsored segment, and I'm just like, thank you for tuning into today's episode of Word of the Day Toilet Paper. Maybe I can remind them of the definition of drywall. Almost.
That's...
Doot. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Word of the Day Toilet Paper. We hope to see you again. Keep coming back and we'll keep producing episodes. We'll come up with new words or perhaps get new words fed to us by our wonderful audience or by random people we ask on the street with a tiny microphone and a $5 camera. Thank you for swinging by and listening to us talk about cats and drywall and dogs and other things for almost 40 minutes. Have a wonderful night, or day, or afternoon, or morning. Thank you.